Hey everyone, and welcome to today's session on faculty development. Our topic for today is an overview of the University of Lynchburg's faculty resources. So we've got a couple of things to go over, and I'll just jump right into it. So why don't we move on forward? So in today's workshop, I want to talk to you about the resources that are offered by the university. So there are various offices scattered throughout the college that are designed to enhance the teaching and learning experience for teachers and for students. So these resources could include a couple of different things. It could be institutional offices that provide support to faculty, staff, and students, and those offices are in place just for that reason. They're there just to provide services to the university. And built into these offices could be third-party software that the institution gives us access to. And our goal at the University of Lynchburg is to empower our faculty by leading them to the resources they need for professional growth, teaching excellence, and research innovation. So that is my goal in developing this workshop. So before I actually show you the resources themselves, so we'll go into a few of the offices that are aimed toward faculty and some of the offices that are aimed toward students. Before I actually show you those, I want to talk about some of the benefits of seeking out institutional support offices, and also we'll talk about some of the hesitation that our faculty often have in reaching out to these offices and how we can overcome some of that hesitation. Then once we do all of that, we'll go into the actual offices that the university offers. All right, so benefits of engaging with university resources. So there are resources that the university offers that can benefit both our faculty and our students. So from the faculty perspective, there may be a lot of technology or ideas that, especially as they're coming out on the cutting edge, that we just don't know about. So there's expertise across different offices in various educational fields, and they can help you facilitate your professional growth as an educator. From the student perspective, university resources are critical to students being successful in their program. So they can help students write their assignments. They can give them feedback on their writing style, and identify common mistakes that they make, and just give them general advice about how to be successful students and point them in the direction that they need to go in. So that's from a faculty perspective and from a student perspective. All right, so let's explore some of the benefits of engaging with university resources. So the first benefit that I would like to talk about is innovation. So across the world, many institutions and their accrediting bodies will evaluate course content. So that's the content that you actually put into your course on Moodle. So that would be your assignments, your lectures, and required reading material, and so on. So leadership or even accrediting bodies could evaluate some of that stuff and ask questions like, are professors just doing the same old thing, or are they being innovative? Are they trying new things? And are they implementing change as technology evolves? If you're using a same old system that you used in say 2015, and you're just unwilling to change or try something new, then that's something that people will notice, because technology's changed and things have gotten easier for students and for faculty. Things have been developed that greatly enhance the learning experience. And the question that they'll ask is whether you are implementing that change as technology evolves. Also, are you applying the latest research in education trends? So education is an academic discipline. People publish specifically about education. They'll do studies about what enhances student learning, and they will evaluate educational models and technology and publish their findings in academic journals. So the question that they'll ask is, are you reading this research? Are you up on it, and are you applying these trends? And you don't have to go into peer-reviewed stuff to find this research. They're often posted on various education blogs that kind of summarize the latest trends. So these are just a few of the things that could be asked in relation to innovation. All right, so we have a few categories here to talk about. So the first one, curriculum production as it relates to innovation. So we can learn new ideas about our curriculum from our support offices. So our support offices will see what's happening around the institution. They'll see what the school of business is doing, and and when the support office takes a look at what, say, the School of Education is doing or the College of Medical Science is doing, they could say, hey, the School of Business is doing this right. Let's take what they're doing and apply it here. So support offices could give us some ideas about how to produce our curriculum. And they could also just pull from their own personal expertise, their own research. Maybe they read stuff about like education blogs, and they keep up with the latest trends, and they just have some general ideas about things that you could be the one to pilot. If you talk to different support offices, they could help a lot with curriculum production. Next is educational technology. So that just refers to any technology that's used in the classroom. Support offices will kind of be up on the various technologies that are offered, and there may even be some technologies that are offered that you don't know about. Simple one I think that a lot of us know about is just Camtasia. So it's a media creation, and it's a video software. So you can use it for screen sharing or recording lectures and that sort of thing. And it has a lot of bells and whistles built into it, a lot of features for highlighting certain content and adding overlays and callouts and various features within the system. So educational technology is a big one that support offices can speak to and tell you what other schools are using. And finally, they can just encourage you to try new things. Going to support offices can give you ideas about what your colleagues are doing, and just give you the opportunity to try it out. And also, it can kind of reinforce some of the ideas that you have. So if you have an idea for something that you want to try, talking to a support office could reinforce that idea. All right, the next benefit is professional growth and development. So, many people who have some sort of state mandated, who are involved in some state licensure program, like for physician assistants, for example, they have a state licensure, and it requires them to do a certain number of education modules every year. And those are specifically related to medicine and the profession and that sort of thing. But what about professional development that's specifically related to teaching and curriculum and that sort of thing? So within the support offices, there could be a lot of opportunity across campus that you're not aware of. For example, there could be how-to tutorials or workshops that are hosted by IT and that sort of thing. And that could just give you a better understanding of how to use the technology that you use in the classroom. There could be leadership or management seminars. There could even be speaking engagement opportunities. So maybe different offices are hosting events, and they would love to see faculty get involved in them. So just a few opportunities related to that. All right. The next benefit of engaging with our support offices is mental wellness and work-life balance. So mental wellness refers to the state of well-being in which one realizes their own abilities and can cope with the normal stress of life, work productivity, and contribute to their community. Work-life balance refers to the equilibrium between your personal life and occupational responsibilities. Um, if you feel good about how much time you're spending at home and on personal projects as opposed to work projects, then you would have a strong work-life balance. So the best teacher is one who has the support and resources they need to be successful and has a good work-life balance and a good state of mental well-being because they have the capacity to do high quality work and they still feel drive and passion for engaging students, because when you get burnt out you sort of lose that passion and you just feel frustration. So the reason I'm saying all of this is that engaging with our support offices can help in some ways with mental wellness and work-life balance. Many support offices across different institutions have health and wellness programs, so they could offer newsletters and initiatives that support a healthy lifestyle. There could be stress management events. There could be ongoing support or programs for stress management, and even they could be in places that one wouldn't expect. There could be meditative events offered by a museum or something like that. And finally, just fun and entertainment. So there are various academic departments, particularly those that are more artistic, that will create events that they really love to see the campus community attend. And that could be music, theater, art, and that sort of thing. So all of that can help contribute to mental health and well-being. All right, so those are a few of the benefits of talking to our support offices. Let's talk about some of the challenges and hesitation that our faculty often feel about talking with support offices. So many of us are often hesitant to go outside of our comfort zone and make changes, especially to things that we've put a lot of time and effort in, and often we don't want to hear about how we could be doing it better because there's a sense in which, well, in that case, I've been doing it wrong. If there's a way I could be doing it better, I've been doing it wrong. But I don't know that that's the best way to look at it. Okay, so let's talk about a few of these challenges. So the first one is comfort and familiarity. So we tend to gravitate toward routines and familiar patterns because they give us a sense of security. So changing our curriculum and teaching style would mean stepping into the unknown, and that could be uncomfortable and stressful, sort of for some of the reasons that I just went into. So we tend to find a system that works and just stick with it, even if there are better methods out there. And of course, faculty are not immune to this. So how would you confront this? Well, I suppose keeping your students in mind, being student-centered would be a good way to confront this, and remembering that we're a student-centered institution and that we should always kind of be striving for what's best for the students. Okay, the next challenge or hesitation is the perceived risk to reputation. So sometimes faculty members are under the misconception that seeking support signals that they can't do their job without help. But really, those offices are there precisely to support faculty, staff, and students. And visiting them is an exercise in doing their job, not a signal that they can't do their job. So some are fearful that if they deviate from the norm, they'll be perceived negatively, and fear of failure is common, especially when it's not something that that the university's been successful with and is tried and true. All right, so these are very common challenges and hesitancies, and there are ways of thinking about it that can sort of alleviate the hesitancy. The first one is just having a positive culture. So get to know your leadership, and you'll probably learn that your leadership is pretty accepting of new ideas and welcomes us to try out new things. And that doesn't mean everyone will always say yes, but it also doesn't mean that it should be a source for hesitancy. It's something that we should be willing to embrace and think about. So what's good for the student? That's something that we should have in the forefront of our mind. Learn about successes and feedback from students in other classes. How do the end of course surveys bear the whole thing out? How are students reacting when a new teaching method or a new technology is being used? Are students happy with it? If someone else has had some success, then that's a pretty strong platform for you to give something a try. Something else that you can consider is just reading peer-reviewed studies that explore the nuances of the approach that you're thinking about taking. All right, so those are just a few of the challenges and hesitancies and some ways to think about it that could help you overcome them. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the resources that the university offers. So first we'll start with faculty resources and then we'll go into some student resources. So the university offers a number of support offices for our faculty. Oh, there we go. I was wondering where that picture was. There it is. Okay. And some of these resources have like standing repositories, like just a wealth of knowledge that they have posted on online and that they maintain and everything. And others just have ongoing support for the community. And by support, I mean like someone who can sit down and look at your stuff and meet with you and talk to you about everything. There are a few different offices that offer these various things. Okay, so let's go into a few of them. I won't cover all of the offices because university has so many offices and so many people doing wonderful things. I just sort of selected a few that really emphasize resources for faculty. All right. So the first one is the Teaching and Learning Center. So the Teaching and Learning Center, their mission is to provide resources specifically for faculty members who want to be innovative and who like to think about the philosophy of education and who want to try new things. So the Teaching and Learning Center is in place specifically for that. They have a website with various resources and several services. They have a library of knowledge and some have ongoing activities that are offered. So some of the services that they include one would be workshops. So they have a website on the Teaching and Learning Center. You can find that on lynchburg.edu. Just search for Teaching and Learning Center. They have workshops that has a repository, or I'm sorry, they have a website that has a repository of workshops listed on it. Sort of like the one that we have for the instructional design. They have a number of workshops. They also have a resource library that aims to teach our faculty about pedagogy and educational technology and that sort of thing. There are various resources related to multiculturalism, which is critical because we have students of an array of different backgrounds, and we want to ensure that we are putting out content and teaching in a way that is accommodating for all of our students. So they have resources on multiculturalism and how to engage with different cultures and different backgrounds. They also offer tutoring on evidence-based writing. So that can be particularly useful, especially as we go into research-based courses that require students to do a good amount of writing and consulting with peer-reviewed journals and reflecting on peer-reviewed journals and kind of synthesizing the material. So the tutoring on evidence-based writing can be very useful. All right, so let's move on to the next one. All right. The next office that I want to highlight is the Office of Academic Affairs. So the Office of Academic Affairs, so the Teaching and Learning Center, I believe, is actually under the Office of Academic Affairs. But I did want to specifically highlight this office because they do offer a number of faculty resources and they keep their content up to date. So if you open up their their websites, you'll see everything has been updated pretty recently, and they have new resources that they try to keep everything up to date and provide ongoing resources and support for our faculty members. So the Office of Academic Affairs, it's run by the provost, and it maintains and continually develops the university's academic standards. So this is the office that oversees all of our programs, and they offer a number of services for our faculty. One service that is for faculty would be assistance in developing the curriculum vitae. So I think they have a template, and I'm sure that they have various resources related to the CV. They have assistance with the reflective narrative for faculty, and they also have a syllabus template that you can use to create your syllabus. It has all of the university statements in it, and placeholders for all of the course content that you can just go in and insert. They also have a faculty development grant, which is in place for faculty for our faculty members who have some innovation or something like that, something they want to try. And you can always look more into this just by looking up the Office of Academic Affairs on lynchburg.edu. They have teaching resources, including plagiarism tools. So they have stuff related to Turnitin and how faculty can submit something as in the plagiarism checker. And they also have faculty research presentations. I think they hold those events on an ongoing basis, and it can give you an idea of what's going on in the faculty community, like what sort of research are your peers engaging in. And I'm not sure what their policy is for accepting presentations, but that could be something to look into just to get involved in the community. All right, so that's the Office of Academic Affairs. Next would just be the instructional design team. So that would be myself and Kristen Cash in the College of Medical Science. So our instructional design team specializes in the College of Medical Science in developing dynamic curriculum. We provide educational technology resources, such as tutorials and that sort of thing, and we offer training to our faculty, such as this workshop. And our goal, of course, is to create an engaging and effective learning experience. So we like to think of ourselves as advocates for the student experience. So what can we offer to our faculty? Well, we have a number of services. One would, of course, be workshops like this one, ongoing faculty development. We have a standing repository of how-to tutorials and knowledge documents that are related to pedagogy and educational technology. We can provide advice related to curriculum development and assignment development. So if you just kind of need an idea for what to do with the particular assignment, like how do you approach this, we can always chime in and give you some feedback. We can curate content-related resources. So if you have a subject and you would like some resources related to it, like maybe you want a couple videos and you want them to be academic in nature and on a specific topic, reach out to us. We can have a discussion and see if we can help you find some stuff. We can create interactive content for students. We have a variety of ideas of how to be interactive with certain content. So you could give us like a Word document or something like that and tell us what you want students to learn, and we can help you build stuff based on that. Tutorials in educational technology, and also one-on-one meetings. We're happy to meet with you anytime during the workday. Just give us a call and tell us what you want to talk about, and we're happy to help you out. All right, so these are the faculty offices. Let's move on to our student-facing offices. So why include a student-facing office? Well, I think student resources are faculty resources, because as you become more acquainted with student resources, you can better serve your students and provide guidance in a number of situations. So for example, if you have a student who's struggling at the beginning of the semester with a particular issue that one of these offices could help with, if you know about that office, then you can provide it as a resource for the student. You can answer questions or direct questions to the best possible resource. You could say to yourself, "Hey, I know this office handles that sort of thing. Maybe they can provide some insight into this." And also, you can provide resources at the beginning of the semester. Now, in our Getting Started module, I have a presentation called Support and Communication for Online Learners, where I outline several of these offices for our students, just so they know that they're there. But I don't really put any emphasis on it. The presentation is there for them to review if they'd like to. So if you think it would be useful, you could curate some of these offices and show them to students at the beginning of the semester, maybe with an announcements or something like that. Or you could just encourage them to take a look at the Getting Started folder and review the resources that are available there. All right, so let's talk about some of the resources. One would be the Knight Capron Library. So the library, it's a very critical resource. So it's the student's access point to research and scholarship, and it provides the proxy to a number of peer-reviewed journals and literature. And they include a number of services. One would be research appointments. So if a student wants to meet with the library and talk about their research, and get some assistance in what direction to go in, the library offers standing appointments for that sort of thing. Information literacy instruction, so that could be stuff like plagiarism and so on. RefWorks for managing bibliographies. So RefWorks is a third-party software that the library provides access to, and it's a bibliography platform that helps students create their bibliographies and citations and that sort of thing. All right, so that's the library. Next is the Center for Disability Academic Support, and that office provides, or that office ensures that our courses, programs, and services are accessible to all of our students, even those who have documented disabilities. So they offer a few services. One is accommodations, and those accommodations could guarantee that all students have enough time for required tests and quizzes and so on. They could transcribe videos. They determine a disability, and they help students transition into college. And generally, they ensure compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act. All right, the next office is ITR. So IT provides a comprehensive technology services to the college. So they offer support, training, programming, web page development, and so on. So students would contact ITR in a few situations: sign-in problems, software isn't behaving, computer crashes, or a website won't load. And, that sort of thing. We generally know an IT problem when we see it. Okay, next is the registrar's office. So the registrar is kind of the record keeper for the university. So they provide services in a few situations. One would be student needs their academic records. So they need to get a copy of their transcript. That would be one time that the student would contact the registrar's office. Another would be the registrar maintains their academic history, so as a record of their grades. And finally, graduation. If students need to apply to graduate, they would do it through the registrar and through their whole application system. All right, Career and Professionalism Center. So this office helps place our students into careers, and they offer a number of networking opportunities for the campus community. So services that they offer include resume reviews, the Handshake job database. So that's like sort of like Indeed or any platform that has a number of open positions. They have interview preparation and job fairs and so on. So that's the Career and Professionalism Center. All right, thank you all very much for your attention and for participating in today's session. If you are interested in a future session, please sign up with us. You can email comms.edu@lynchburg.edu and we can get you a schedule, or you can use the QR code that's on the screen right now. All right, thank you very much for participating, and I hope you have a great day.